little turkey, getting its back at 7:30, and we'll be well cooked by 8 o'clock. Oh, you're a wise guy, huh?
I don't care if the grease ain't burnt. I don't care if the food ain't free. I don't care when your ass starts to cooking. I got me a plate of pork and beans. I got me a plate of pork and beans.
Oh, turkey. I love to get mad. What's the idea of carrying a turkey? Well, I don't know. Don't you know if it's found that way, we're losing $100? Are you out of your mind? What's the matter with pork and beans? Those people not going to be able to hear you say it or do anything again to a turkey. What's going on here? Hey, why didn't you kill this boy before I brought it in? On a car.
Come on now, it's your big mashed potato. Come on now, it's your mama baby. Come on now, get your ass at the table. I got me a plate of pork and beans. I got me a plate of pork and
This is an outrage. I am leaving. Oh, you stupid oafs!
What's wrong? You maniac! You're fired! Oh, get out! Why you?
I kind of messed up the video, but I got this stick list, these couple of stick lists that were really cool. And
Just hold on a second.
Facebook. Hey, Facebook. Hi, everybody. So I go out, I walk my yard. I go out, smoke, and check the yard and see any sticks or anything. And so I saw these stick lists, and I go, holy crap! And there was like 3 of them, and one of them was sort of like a twisted. It was like a Y, but it was all twisted up, and it was obviously our timelines of the Sasquatch and the humans. And then there was another one that was right next to it, right under it, was a really thick one, and it was broken off. So right at the Y, it was almost broken off, so just a little bit of the Y was sticking up. And that told me that, we have this crazy kind of time that we're in right now with all the twists and turns of the Sasquatch fate and the human fate. And then there was this dark one. The dark one was this fat one, which was it was much thicker. And it was like, well, maybe something's going to happen on Earth and it's going to change, or some bad eradication of all life on Earth. So that was the grim side. But then they showed me this one. I could probably go out and get it, but then they showed me this one. It was really nice, and it was another Y. But what it was the Y grew out and then kind of grew together, and then the tips touched.
Mm.
And I'm going, that's obvious what that is. That means the Sasquatch and the humans are uniting. They're touching, they're connecting. And I think that was a that one really blew me away. That's why I made the video. It was like, that's what's going on. That's what Pork and Beans is all about. It's to talk about where Sasquatch and humans are touching, where we're connecting. That what has been grown apart for a long time has now come back together. So that's kind of special.
Now, did that come to you like instantaneous? Was that like as soon as you seen it, or you figured it out?
I saw it and I thought, well, what it was, I actually had to pick it up. And when I picked it up, I saw that the branches had actually crossed, and then they were broken off right where the cross was. So where we are right now is the Sasquatch are connecting to humanity, and humanity is connecting to Sasquatch. I got the whole vision of all the people doing research and all the people watching videos. They're all connecting to Sasquatch, and Sasquatch connecting to them. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, what did Pat McRae do? He just came on, now he's gone.
I don't know.
Huh. Okay. Hey, what do you think of our new audience here? Check out our new audience.
Where is it? On Pork and Bean Show?
Hey, man, are you paying attention? Look at my screen.
Oh, your audience. Yeah. Well, listen, I got to do some, I got to talk to
Just going on
Greg.
road work.
I got to talk to Greg for a little bit. So you talk to yourself because
Oh, wait a
Greg's
minute.
having a problem. He can't get on the Zoom.
How come?
He says nothing, still nothing.
Did you send him the link?
I did. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I got a new toy here. There's all these backgrounds. Hey, Mr. Beans, check this out.
I'm talking to Greg. What, we got, you know, we're not even officially started yet. What? Well, look at you. How cute. What is that, like a little application for Zoom or something?
I don't know. When I had to sign in today, when I had my problems, I got all these different little faces now. So, Port Cunningham.
That's convincing, man. You're a real pork. It's
Well, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
And listen, I like this. I like your, you know, I was looking at the thing on YouTube, and this background you had in the green screen was all kind of fuzzy, man. But this is nice and clear. That
I
maybe
know.
they cleared up the image. They had to because it was like a crappy image. Oh, look at that funny stuff.
Well, how do you do that? Call me later. Hey, Beans, call me
What?
later. How do they do it?
I don't know, but listen, I'm having a hard time helping helping Greg. So starts off with chaos. You know, I'll give him a call. I'll give him a message chat call and see what
I don't
happens.
know. I mean, ooh.
Holy mackerel! I sent you 2 links. The same thing. What did it do?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's not doing anything. You know, the screen comes up and says that you don't have Zoom or Google Play. Hit join meeting. That's what I've been hitting, man, and it's not doing nothing.
Oh, where do you go? My mind's blown, man. My mind is blown.
Hey, we're having our official worst opening ever, Kevin. So we really wanted you to be part of it. We really wanted you to be part of it.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. So apparently you can join the Zoom.
Yeah. So, okay. So
yeah, we got Kevin Roy. Kevin Royce just joined a little while ago. Pat McRae joined.
Kevin,
I don't know what it is, Greg.
What step is Greg missing? What did you do?
Well, here's what he's got. Here's what he's got so far. He added Zoom to his tablet. Yeah.
Right.
And then then when he opened up Zoom, he went to join meeting, and then it has a button there to join meeting, but he clicks that button and nothing happens. So I don't know if it's, you know, nothing
weird.
happens. Then if he joins the meeting, then all it has to do is put the passcode in, and then that would be it.
Well, theoretically, so what I would recommend for him to do is not do it that way. What I recommend is he actually click the link, because it won't even take you to necessarily join. It'll say join meeting, but it'll say join meeting with video, and you've already got the connection, and it'll just put you in the waiting room that Brian can then let people in. If he goes to Zoom first, there's all sorts of weird steps that you have to go through to get into the actual meeting.
Are you sure, or would you be willing to go out and retrace your steps?
What? Yeah, sure. I'll drop off. I don't care.
No. We want you around. Stick around.
Oh, you guys talk.
I have nothing to
mute
say though
myself
today.
and go talk to Greg some more.
No, you always have something to say. No, I'm saying, are those steps? Are you sure in your steps? That's
okay. Yes, I'm absolutely 100% sure. I just did. So, Michael, did you send him the link in his messenger window, or how did you send him the link?
I sent it in the messenger window just like I sent it to you.
Okay, and then he said he clicked on it.
I got that. I got it 4 times.
Greg, why don't you just maybe close out of the internet altogether? Just you know, and then come back on and then click on that link in your message box again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because maybe like reset it or something.
Okay, I'll get right back with you.
All right. I'll sign out.
See the shame of all these technical difficulties. Look at the big audience I
I'm
have.
trying to figure out, I'm trying to rack my mind trying to figure out how to make it Brian's fault.
You guys need some sort of technical producer or something. Good Lord.
Well, you know what? If we
there's a
had,
lot of
if we had, I hate to say this, but if we had StreamYard, we wouldn't be having this problem right now.
Why?
That's true.
Because StreamYard's automatic. You just put in a link and he pops right up.
It does.
I don't know how my hours of my day fill in, but it seems to go to the end of the day, and I haven't looked at any of that stuff.
You what?
Yeah, that made no sense whatsoever, Brian.
And then every week
What's that?
you send me another link.
I'll be right back, guys.
I send
Well, you like Zoom, and this is now. There you go. You know,
I
you
don't-
like it.
I
So
don't necessarily like it. Okay, we're gonna have to schedule a upper management meeting and try to resolve this in some way. But you know, if we get things running too smooth, we're gonna lose a lot of the charm of the show. See, Kevin's agreeing.
if you do speak English,
I said if we get things running too smooth and we don't screw up, like left, right, center, and upside, backwards, and all around, you know, we'd lose a lot of the charm of the show. No?
I don't care if your grease not cooking. I don't care. Or your mom's mashed potatoes. I don't know. I think we ought to just shut the whole thing down and then just you know, work on Greg. When Greg gets going, then start it all over again. So if we start late, we start late. That's all, you know.
Well, I can't really stick around that long today. I got to go meet my girlfriend at noon at the latest.
What a wuss.
What are your priorities, man? Come on.
Come on, man. This is Sasquatch and buddies. It's manly man stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is she's got a turkey dinner for the Sasquatch. We gave her one last year.
Ooh, I wish I could come up there for that. That would be awesome.
You would like to come up for the Sasquatch turkey dinner?
Yes, I'd like to be part of the giving of it. Yes.
You heard of the story last year, right? Should I tell it again?
Please do tell it again, because I think I've heard it.
Seeing as it's American Thanksgiving, I guess I will tell the turkey story. As long as Beans wants to hear it. You up for it, Mr. Beans?
My mind is like pudding.
Bill Cosby said that too. Remember, didn't he have some pudding commercials?
I don't know, but it's like my mind not making any you know, there's nothing to grasp onto.
Okay, so last year,
Look at Kevin. He's disappearing.
This is my camouflage. I'm just kind of sinking back in.
He got his cloaking skills. He got his cloaking skills going.
hey, you say something while I try to get the picture up.
What picture?
What picture?
Well, there's a picture that's really pertinent to the story. This Thanksgiving
yeah.
story.
To just share it.
Practice your screen share.
Yeah.
Well, I can do something.
Want me to coach you?
So, look, can't you guys say something?
Put your picture in the message
gonna
box
find it,
and
but say
open it up
something.
full screen, and then you can share it from there. It's pretty easy.
I've got to find the picture first. I'm not sure where it is. That's the problem. So tell us a little story about, tell us something.
Galen, what's been going on with the Sasquatch in your
Here you go.
neck of the woods?
Well, actually, I'm actually in kind of an assimilation period. It's quieted down a bit. They're still around. In fact, Arla went ahead and shared a picture yesterday of little grass, a woven grass glyph that they left her. And some of the stuff she puts up, it's clearly from them, but it doesn't catch my attention. But for some reason, this one seriously caught my attention, and I'm studying it, and all of a sudden, I get the floral aroma. It's like, whoa, there's something here for me. I don't know what it is, but there's something here. So
Wow.
but beyond that, it's been pretty quiet with regard to interaction with them. But then again, I haven't been in the woods much because I wore my boots out from hiking so much. And my wife isn't going to give me my new boots that I bought until Christmas. She's wrapping them and putting them under the tree. So
I just had an image of you walking in the woods with your Christmas box boots on, with the
Right?
Christmas boxes and paper on them.
with
That'd be
red
hilarious.
bows. No, so what they're really working, and actually this is something that you and I talked about, Michael. It's the Sasquatch have been all about energy, vibration, and frequency with me, and as they are with a lot of people. And
They were the ones who told Tesla about it, right?
I don't know about that, but Tesla got
I
it from
just made
somewhere.
that up. That's a good myth. That's an urban myth. The Sasquatch told Tesla about vibration frequency.
Right. So I keep, for literally years, I keep running across people, and the Sasquatch have worked very carefully with me, telling me how to raise my vibration. It's going to be, or my frequency, and how to keep it higher. And it's probably going to be slightly different for everybody. But what I have a pet peeve. It's when people just assume that you know what they're talking about with respect to vibration and frequency, and they just say, without any further explanation, oh yeah, to get a good connection with the Sasquatch, you really have to raise your vibration, right? And,
What is that? What does that mean?
right? And they've really
Hey, wait a minute. I
It
say
is-
that.
what? I know. See.
Yeah,
Right.
what does it mean?
See, you thought I wasn't listening, but go ahead.
So, Michael and I were talking, actually, was it yesterday or day before? I'm not sure. And that's what I said to him. I said, that's my pet peeve, is people don't really say what they mean by raise your vibration. There's meditation and all, and there's healing your internal trauma and all, and that's all very well and good. And I think those are all important, actually, don't get me wrong. But there are other things that I think are really important. Words have
Coffee,
power.
like coffee? You're talking
Oh,
about-
absolutely. Coffee will definitely get you vibrating.
But it may be hate, a higher vibration of hate.
No, it depends what your core vibration is. It just
Okay.
amplifies what's already there.
Okay.
That's my opinion anyway. But one of the things that the Sasquatch taught me and really have hammered into me from early on is that words and thoughts have immense power internally as well as externally. And so your self-talk, are you giving Brian we have a view of Brian's forehead, right? So that's
I'm typing.
okay. So were your
I'm
thumbs
listening.
up?
I'm listening.
Okay,
No, I was giving thumbs up to words have immense power.
they do.
Internally, words have an immense power. See, that's my listening skills. That's when you can listen to somebody and then repeat what they say. Those are called good listening skills.
Right? My
Words
wife
have immense power. Words have immense power. That's what people say. That's what you call good listening skills, eh?
See how powerful that is?
yes, absolutely. So
Yeah, absolutely. Am I supposed to say that every time now, or
no,
stop?
you can go back to typing, Brian.
Hey, my wonderful lady is getting a hold of me. I have to.
Okay.
I have to abide.
There are definite priorities, my friend.
Yeah.
Turn your screen off so you stop interrupting or cut your microphone off or something.
Okay.
Annoying
but,
as all get out when we're trying to get into this juicy conversation.
you guys get
about
the
how to
conversation
raise our
going, then I'll give you.
vibration.
Then I found
And
that.
you keep
video.
interrupting
Okay.
with trivia.
Hey, Beans, I'll tell you what. I'm going to cut my sound off. How does that sound? And Then I'll tell you my story after you guys wrap up with yours. But I'll still be listening. Don't worry.
Okay. So words have power, immense power, and that's both your self-talk words that you have in your head, you know, the internal dialogue that you have, and your external words that you have that you speak out into the world. And you know, at the very core, words are sound, which is basically just vibration and frequency, right? With some glottal stops in there, but that's, you know, different issue. And it's what wells up from inside of you, right?
That's so beautiful what you're saying, man. It's wonderful. It's just fantastic.
It is one of the purest forms of creativity or creation that you have as a human being, is when you have a thought that you bring into words. That process is a creative process. And the Sasquatch have kind of reinforced to me that one of the things they love about us when we make music, like when Brian goes out and does his drumming, is a frequency or a creation that wells up from within him, and they appreciate that it's a creation that becomes manifest in the world. That also is true of your internal self-talk, though. Your thought processes and your subconscious programming, what you think of yourself and what you say to yourself, that nothing will bring your vibration or your frequency down faster than internally cutting yourself down, internally disbelieving in yourself. And that's something they taught me early on. And so I spent a lot of time really trying to reprogram my subconscious self-talk because of a lot of unresolved trauma from my childhood. And it changed my life. Right, it changed my interaction with my Sasquatch friends. It was amazing. So
Go
ahead.
You're saying that just by changing your voice and you're changing your words and changing that internal dialogue, that it changed your life.
100%.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
I went from
I'm gonna try to get in touch with Greg, right?
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is going to try to screen share with him from Messenger.
Well, that'll be interesting. Well,
yeah, and it'll show up on the full screen with Greg, and he's got a good thing. So I don't know. Let's try it.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut my video feed and mute myself, because this is Greg's time to shine. I'm going to shut up.
That's if we can pull it off.
All right.
Unreachable.
Can't find him.
Yeah, he was calling me while I was calling him.
Kev,
Yes, sir.
hang in there.
Hey, Greg, can you hear me yet?
Oh, okay. Well, I can hear your turkey story without being part of the show.
Now I got to figure out how to bring it up to the main screen here.
You're so funny.
Hey,
That's a good one. I want to
put
get
it up
that.
on the main screen. I put it in your chat box.
Yeah. Greg, you on yet? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try to turn on the video camera.
For what? Where is he?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ah,
Well, I can't get him to listen to me, so I'm trying to get him to
Start a
turn.
video call. Oh, listen, Greg, I'm going to start a video call for you. Okay, I'm going to hang up and call you back with a video. All right.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Beans,
What?
I sent a picture into your chat box. Can you put it on for our main screen? And I'll tell the
I
story
can't
while
see
you're
it.
getting in your chat box.
Yeah, I'm
And then I'll tell the story while you try to
It's
get
not
Greg
about
going.
this show's not about you. It's about Greg. Let me see if I can't get Greg on.
All right. Well, then we can have some dead air then in here or whatever.
But you're a grown man, and we just heard about how to raise our vibration. It was fantastic. It was fantastic information by clearly a high vibrational person. So say something, Ray. What's the weather like over there where you are? You're up in Tennessee, right?
Nice and sunny, about 50 degrees. Yeah, beautiful day.
All right. It's raining down here in Savannah. You're up in eastern Tennessee or west?
No, I'm up in southern Indiana.
Oh, southern Indiana. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right on the other side of the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky.
All right. So anyway, what a struggle trying to get you onto the Pork and Bean show. It's crazy, but why don't you tell you're a welder and you've been like hanging out in the woods with
Why do you-
Sasquatch for a long time.
Yeah, since 2002. Yeah, I'm not working now. I got laid off back in March due to the coronavirus. Man, it's been a horrible year. But yeah, it's been a really good year for Bigfoot now. So with all that time off, I got a lot to spend out in the woods, instead of going to work. But yeah, it all started for me back in 2002, about same time, around Thanksgiving. I wasn't out looking for Bigfoot. Bigfoot found me. Yeah, I didn't know anything about the subject other than a video. And then by the high school, man, we all went and seen The Legend of Boggy Creek. That scared the jeepers out of me. That was a really good movie. But other than that, I didn't put no stock or nothing in the Bigfoot. I never gave it a second thought. If there was one, I figured Patty was out there in California. It sure wasn't here in Indiana. But that night in November 2002, it changed my life forever. I was laid off from work. My old lady left me, man, took my two babies with me, and it was a bad time in my life, and all I had was my dog, Buddy. He was a half chow, half golden retriever, weighed about 125 pounds. I would take him out to the forest with me all the time, trying to find myself and trying to get my life together, man. Because like I said, I was at a bad point. So I went to the forest a lot. I really loved it out there. It was really peaceful, and I could do a lot of soul searching and thinking. And out in Ferdinand, Indiana, is where my grandfather designed and built the forest there back in 1933. It's a state forest, and it's about 60 miles from the house. Yeah, that's the one I'd go to a lot. It was very beautiful, very, very beautiful. They had a big lake there. They had a dam going on the back side of the lake, man, that led into a cutout. And there's a couple camping areas back there, a couple picnic tables, and a couple fire pits. Not a big chunk of land. And then it backed up against a big hill to come almost straight down into the cutout area. And then the lake right over to the right. So I went there one night with Buddy. I brought some hot dogs, a couple beers. I just wanted to enjoy a nice November night. It was cool, crisp. Wasn't very bright out. And it was real quiet, man. You could hear a pin drop. There wasn't nobody in the whole forest but me. And we were sitting there, I get a little fire going. I'm making my hot dogs, and another dog comes up. It's like a beagle, a blue tick. a hunting dog mix. And I started playing around with my dog buddy. They were hanging around the camp area, right, where I was at. And again, like I said, it was a perfect night. And I was really enjoying myself. Thanksgiving was a couple days away. And my birthday's always around Thanksgiving, November 23rd. I just had a birthday the other day, matter of fact. So it brings back a lot of memories. And, 18 years ago. So, I'm just sitting there, enjoying the night. And then all of a sudden, from that hill I just told you about, it sounded like a Sherman tank coming down off that hill. Yes, and it was like, I mean, real heavy footsteps. I mean, real heavy. Are coming right towards me. And, I can't describe how loud it was. Branches break. This thing was huge, whatever it was coming down. And I was just sitting there, man, and more or less, I froze up. I went into a mild shock. It was surreal. I didn't know what was going on. And it got closer and closer, louder and louder. And there's a big tree there, right at the end of the cutout. And that's where he stopped at. My picnic table, and I had a little fire, like I said, right there, about 20 feet away from where he stopped. And my dog and his hunting dog, they go about halfway up to the tree and just sit down, staring up at it. Everything was happening, man. It's like a dream. I'm still sitting on the picnic table, and then I hear it breathing. And I think about this breathing almost daily. It was so loud and vibrational, man. Like speakers up there, man, coming right through me. And it sounded similar to this, but a lot louder. But it was like, real guttural, real, like he had a chest the size of a whiskey barrel. I mean, just huge, huge noise coming. It was coming right through me. And again, like I said, I'm just about freaking out. I don't know what this thing is. I'm just sitting there like an idiot. My dogs are 10 feet from it, or my dog and the other dog. So I was in the Navy 10 years, and I love my military background. And I went through a lot of stuff in the Navy. And I know how to defend myself, and I know how to fight. If it ever comes down to it, it's not like I like fighting or nothing. But I had a chief that always got on me all the time. Y'all do this, y'all do that. No, I do it this way, y'all. So I could basically hear it, Steve, man, in the back of my brain. You got a monster up there. He's about ready to break you in half. Get up and do something, man. He goes, he's gonna kill you. He goes, do something, man. React. That's the thing in the Navy. For every action, there's a reaction. What's yours gonna be? So I had a 45, man, Colt 45 in my Grand Prix. So I reached down in the console and I grabbed it, cocked it, and I held it up there. And the first thing I said was, what the F are you? And no response. So then my attention goes to Buddy. So I start screaming to Buddy, Buddy, Buddy. I mean, I screamed and screamed and screamed. Buddy would not come. So I knew I had to get Buddy. I had to get him quick, and I had to get out of there because there was a big ass monster behind that tree, and it was not good. It was not a good place to be. I mean, I was in warrior mode, I was scared to death. All these emotions running through me. They didn't know what it was, what's going on. I just know I had to get my dog. So again, I'm yelling at this thing. Don't come around this tree. I said, I got a gun here. It's loaded. I will blast you, man. I will put heat into you. I go, it ain't gonna be pretty. I don't know who you are or what you are, but if you come around that tree and get aggressive with my dog or me, I go, I'm gonna shoot you, man. I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah, I got closer and closer. I kept talking. I had that gun in my right hand pointed up through the tree. I'm right-handed. I get up to Buddy, and he's like a sack of potatoes sitting there. He's hypnotized. He's memorized. Just staring up at this thing, man. I didn't even want to look up there. I didn't want to know anything what this thing looked like. I know something was there. I know it was very, very big. And I knew it was probably very, very vicious. By the sound of his breathing and the way it was walking. And this thing was huge. Because anyway, I'm trying to get Buddy up under my arm, which wasn't no easy task. But I did manage it. I started backing out, man, real slow, like half steps. Still trying to position my gun up there, holding on to Buddy. So as I get back to my car, I throw him in the back seat. I jump in the front seat, start the engine, slam it in reverse, and go back to the dam. So, okay, by this time, I'm shaking like a leaf on a tree, as the Skinner boys would say. And I was nervous as hell. I needed a cigarette. I left my cigarettes up there, my cooler. I had some other stuff up there. And I wasn't going to run off. I was out in the middle of back of the Hoosier National Forest. No stores nowhere. Don't tell what I would have got another smoke. And I know it sounds bad, but for people who don't smoke, it's a bad habit, especially in a situation like that when you really need one. So anyway, I hit my brights and I drove the 25, 30 feet back up to the picnic table to get my stuff. And I got as close to the table as I could. And I told you I hit my brights and I kind of glanced up in the tree. And I really didn't want to look up there, but I did. And that beagle dog was still sitting there. And I see a big black arm wrapped around from the elbow to the hand. It wrapped around this big tree there. And it had long black hair, man, hanging from it. And it had fingers. I got a huge hand. I'm 6'5", 220 pounds. I'm a big man. And I got really big hands. And these hands look like cigars. They were way bigger than my hands. So I'm like, oh my God. I said, man, this thing's a monster. So I asked the boy to look. I didn't want to look no higher. I didn't want to look at the face, man. Enough for one night was enough. So anyway, I hardly even got out of my car. I had my gun again. Said, hey, look, I'm just getting my stuff, man. I'm out of here. You'll never see me again. So I thought for a minute about getting that other dog. And I thought, against better judgment, I better not. And I pushed my luck. I feared for my life. It would have been my dog. Surely I probably would have. But a stray dog out there, I got to think about that a lot. I should have rescued it, but I didn't. I can't cry over spilled milk. But anyway, I was saving my car and I got out of there. And all the way home, man, I thought about, what went down? What was that? I was thinking about the Patterson video. I go, was that one of them kind of things? A Bigfoot thing? Was it just a flat out monster? You hear about monsters. Like I said, I never been a dime's worth of stock and none of this stuff. I was a nuts and bolts guy. I just did 10 years in the United States Navy. Yeah, this is the farthest thing away from my mind. I'm trying to figure out how to get my old lady and my kids back, and if I'm ever going to get called back to work, and then this happens, it's a little too much to put on my plate that night. So I went back there the very next morning. As soon as I got up, man, I rushed back up there through the forest, and there's a DNR lady up there. Yeah, a real nice, friendly lady, man. I talk to her all the time up there. Her dad lives close to my hometown. And we got a lot to talk about every time I see her. So she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, you're out here early. What's going on?" And so I was like, "Oh, you won't believe this, but what happened last night?" And I told her exactly what I just told you. And yeah, I went up there. I showed her where the arm was hanging around the tree. It has like 7 feet up in that tree, his arm. So if you put the pieces together, his head was probably, I'd say at least 3 feet from your arm, just like a human, 2, 3 feet. So his guy was every bit of 9 or 10 feet. So if she's sitting there, she didn't want to believe anything. She's like, "Oh, Greg, come on." She goes, "Them things ain't real." She goes, "It's probably a deer." And so I'm like, "Charlotte," I said, "Come on." I go, "Please don't insult my intelligence." I go, "This thing was not a deer, anything but." So we talked a little bit more, and she took off, like nothing. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like a deer. After what I just told her, I go, "I see where I'm going to get with this." So I figured the best way to get to the bottom of the phenomenon I just seen the night before was to go out into the woods and look for these things, get to know as much as I can about them. Yeah, don't put much faith into what other people say. This is a journey, a personal journey I had to take myself. And I didn't want anybody involved in it, just me and my dog. And so that was, I call that night, I call it the Ferdinand Charge. And that was my awakening. And almost 18 years ago to the day, everything that has happened in the last 18 years, it's been amazing of what I get to see and witness with the force people. And it keeps getting better and better and better.
What was it that made you like go back the next day? I mean, that was some kind of compelling from absolute fear to wanting to go back the next day. What was that about?
I just had to get out there in the daylight, man, and look at it, man. Look at everything that took place, and look at the hill that he come charging down, and stand by the tree that he stood behind, and I might have looked around for some footprints to see if I didn't find any. And also I had hopes that maybe that hunting dog was still out there. I was gonna get him and take him to a shelter or something, but he wasn't out there. His body wasn't out there, so that was a good sign. It wasn't like he got murdered out there. But yeah, just something I had to do. I mean, something this big in my life that happened. I had to get back out there and check it out in the daytime. And I'm really glad I am. And I've probably been out there 100 times since, just thinking about what happened that night and what could have happened or what didn't happen or what should. I mean, I still got a lot of unanswered questions that night, but in reality, I think that was the night that I got tested to see if I had the heart and the courage to stand up to these things, man. Because since then, I think I have been chosen, picked, or whatever to see a lot of this stuff. And I think that night was a test to see what kind of man I really was. I mean, I'm sure they had me in mind. I mean, the forest people only want to deal with good-hearted people with good intentions, people who respect them, respect everything in the forest, respect the air, the water, the land, everything that I do. I mean, that's why I went to the forest. I'm a purist. I mean, that's the best place for a man to go to find himself. The beauty, the nature, the wildlife. I don't hunt. I don't do anything. I don't do anything to hurt the forest one way or another. I don't have nothing against hunters. If you got to put food on your table, hey man, go for it. I'm not into trophy hunting. People out putting a big buck on their wall just for the brag about it. I'm not into stuff like that. I consider myself one with the forest, and the forest is one with me. And I believe the forest people had an eye on me for a while, and this was the night that they was gonna come into my life, and they did, and they have never left it since. As a matter of fact, we have built an inseparable bond. I mean, I'm at the point now where I can go out into the forest and I ask them to do stuff, and they do it for me. And I'll give you a fine example of something that just happened Labor Day weekend. I was up at the forest, and I had a paranormal over in Louisville. A man, his wife, and his daughter. I don't know if there's any more people. I know there was them three, and they have a paranormal group, Pac-Man Paranormal, and they do a lot of investigations. And they wanted to, they wanted to come out with the Squatch Man, see what Bigfoot's all about. They were going to take me ghost hunting, kind of like a mutual thing. Hey, show me what you do, we'll show you what. Because I got an open mind. I mean, if you're into Bigfoot, you're into a lot of other things, UFOs, ghosts, alien, whatever the case may be, So anyway, they came out, and a thunderstorm was just coming through. So everybody sat in their cars for a while, let the thunderstorm pass. We was in this one area that I always go to. This is up in my forest, 20 miles from right here where we're talking at. And the thunderstorm passed, and everybody got out, and you could still see the lightning going off in the background. It was a slow moving shower. So I raised my hands up, and I asked them, I told them I think I was moving to go to Washington a week or two later, and I didn't know if I was ever coming back again. Things didn't come out, work out with the forest fires and everything. We did come back, but I was out there a couple months. But anyway, I thought this was going to be my last night here. So I asked them for something big, really big. I told the big boys to light the fire, light the forest up. I said, I want it loud, I want it big. I said, I beg of you, I pray to Yahweh. Everything I say whenever I get action. And immediately, 9 trees in a row got pushed over. As soon as I got done talking, there wasn't no storm no more. The storm was gone. I mean, it was nice, quiet air. It might have been sprinkling a little bit, but no wind or nothing. And all my guests, man, they're all freaking out. And, I'm even quite amazed. I never asked them to do something at this caliber and high level. So, the girls got kind of panicked. They jumped back in the car, and me and Artie were sitting out there right in front of my Jeep, right there on the road, where all the trees were going there, getting pushed down. So The girls come back out, and his wife Denise walked back there. And there's a tree over the road, but it wasn't flat. It was like this. And it was hung up in another tree on the other side of the road. He's like, well, here's one they pushed over. And this wasn't broken or nothing. This was pushed over out of the ground. You know, the root ball and everything. You know, we're talking a 2-3 foot red oak, real healthy tree, about 100 feet taller, or taller. Out there talking and yeah, I call this one Big Red. And so, you know, like Big Red, did you do this? Yeah, we're getting tree knocks, and we're seeing trees out there being shook. And so again, the girls go back into the cars, and me and Artie's out there. So all of a sudden, this is 50 steps away from us because I already stepped it off. But that tree where that big tree I just told you about leaning into the other tree, well, there's a big black mass. This is out on the road, and Barry, you can see up. There's light up above, you know, where the trees are on each side of the road. And then this tree was right next to the road, and we seen it, you know, getting shook, back and forth. And I was like, look. I said, hey, look at the black thing. And we actually seen the Bigfoot up in the tree. And it was, I mean, I can't describe the forest, man. This is another red oak tree, about 3 feet in diameter. I mean, he was shaking this thing, man, like a toothpick in a hurricane. So all of a sudden, it sounded like an explosion went off. You know, the whole tree, you know, all kinds of stuff over breaking. So we're being Artie standing out there, and I'm like, holy crap, man, I can't believe this. And Artie goes, hey, man, he goes, you asked for it. And I go, hey, yeah, you're right, I did. So you know, when it's all over, we hear a thump. We hear a thump and something run off through the woods. Because I sounded like he jumped down off the tree. So we're standing there, man, we're freaking out. You know, the girls done come back out. You know, they heard what was going on. And so we all walk up there. And that big tree I told you was like this, is laying flat against the road now. And the tree that it was laying on, up for me, he didn't like that tree halfway over. So he got up in the other tree and he pushed both of them down basically at the same time. And it sounded like a bomb going off. It was so loud. So anyway, you know, they're like, well, you think we ought to leave? You think we ought to leave? I go, no. And one of the girls go, well, what do we do now? I go, everybody start clapping. Tell them thank you. I mean, what a show he just put on for us. I mean, I've never seen nothing this epic. So we started hollering, clapping. I mean, yeah, hey, man, awesome show. So we're standing there by the picnic table, you know, where all this is going down. And as the storm's passing through, you know, it's a couple of miles away, but the lightning is still lightening up the area. So there's some lightning. You know, I look over there in the tree line, and I see 5 forest people, you know, also known as Bigfoots for people who don't know what the people are. There's 5 of them standing over shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. All of them very, very big. All of them over 7 feet tall, very wide. I mean, just a show of force and power. 5 of them. So you know, I'm standing there with these people. So I mean, I didn't say nothing. I go, no, I'm not going to say nothing. I go, I'll just freak them out. Because every time we go out, you know, seems like, I see them and everybody's like, man, how come you see them all the time when nobody else does? And, you know, some people do, some people don't. But I don't like bragging about it or whatever. I just, I see them. I just want to let it go. So instantly, Denise goes, hey, did anybody just see that over there? So I'm like, oh my God. I go, are you talking about the 5 Bigfoots? She goes, yeah. goes, yeah, I seen them. And so it was good. She's seen them. So this is, this was just Labor Day weekend a few months ago. And this is where I have got with these, where I can ask them to do stuff. And I did have a camp out a couple weekends ago, and I asked them to light the woods up with their pretty eye shine. And again, I got over 20 people who have seen this. Eye shine everywhere, tree knocks. Yeah, what a beautiful night. We seen them belly crawling. I mean, crawling within 15, 20 feet of you. Two of them together crawling with their amber lights. And we've seen red lights, blue, white, green. Yeah, the whole spectrum, man. This is right where I go camping at. Yeah, all I gotta do is ask them to put on a show for the people who come to witness it, and they always oblige. So
This was just a couple months ago, right?
Headway with them.
This was just a couple months ago, right?
Yes, sir. This was actually about a month ago. I mean, you see my post. Actually, it was October 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't even a month ago, right? Yeah, a month ago exactly from this weekend almost. So it was very, very good. And I already got people asking me, hey, man, when are you having another one? They don't care about, the cold. They don't. I mean, I have them in the snow up here. See, it's all about the forest people. Yeah, I mean, they're out there in this weather, and I try to tell people, that any time of the year, just don't go in the spring and the fall. I go cold weather, some of the best times you can go to get a visual. And I think they pick the people they want to show themselves to. I've had a guy come here all the way from Idaho. He picked me out because he felt I was the one who showed him the truth and his best odds of seeing one. Well, guess what? He left not only seeing one, he seen two that weekend. Juggle doors all the way from Idaho. I had other people from northern Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. A lot of eyewitnesses up here at my campsite. I can't even begin to tell you how many I've seen. Again, this all goes back to that first night in Birdman when they wanted to see what kind of man I was. I mean, think about it. How many reports and stories have you heard where people getting approached by one in the forest and, their reaction, how they run off screaming and, just losing their marbles. I mean, you got to think of it that way. Is this the forest people testing people?
I think so.
Just a random coincidence meeting, which I highly doubt because they can stay away from anybody all the time if they wanted. I think they want certain people to see them, and they want a lot of people that they don't like. They will never see them. I mean, we're talking about a being here that can walk around right next to you, totally invisible. They have done that to me before. How do I know? Well, I got it on audio. Me and my buddy talking, and then right behind it, you hear, like a laugh. Same time we were laughing. And then we both had that sensation, like whenever one's really close by, my hair stand up. I feel energized. It's like somebody stabbed you with a bolt of electricity, man. You get really pumped up, and that's how I get. If they're flesh and blood or invisible, either way, I get that way. But I'd say 95% of the time that they are invisible. So that's why there's very few sightings. And And the ones that do are fortunate and lucky enough to see one. They need to really count their blessings because, I mean, you know as good as I do, not too many people get that opportunity to see one. So that's why people come out to my forest. That's the whole point. They want to see one. I mean, I got a brother. He believes, but he's on the fence.
Oh, Greg, you just cut out. Yeah, well, okay, so we'll do the screen share again. It's working. It's coming out real good. It's coming out real good. Listen, Pork and Beans is about humans. Like one of the things we're doing is showing how the humans and the Sasquatch are touching. They're connecting. They're being friends and family. So maybe you can go into from the first time you've had all this stuff is just mind-blowing, man. It's incredible stuff. It's epic stuff. But maybe you can go back and show how you gradually built up your relationship with them and you got more of that heart space and they really started to be like friends and family. Could you go back and tell that story?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'd be glad to.
All right. Because I think that's what people need to know. How do you get from being just a regular guy to being somebody who's so connected to Sasquatch that they really care about you and you really care about them?
Or more specific, maybe there was maybe you came into it initially thinking maybe they are monsters or whatever or something. You didn't know what they were. When was there a turning point? Was there an incident or something that made you think there's more to these guys than I think? Something like that, right, Beans?
Yeah, there was. Okay, so you want me to go with that?
Anyway you want to go, man. You got the overall idea.
It's the same thing, basically.
Okay, yeah, the question is what made me know that the forest people were friendly people instead of monstrous beasts that a lot of people think they are. Well, this happened about 3 years, almost 3 years to the day, man, after the Ferdinand charge. I told you I had to keep going out in the woods and finding out what's going on. So I went and I went and I went, and nothing happened year after year. Yeah, 3 years, man, and I never seen another one, heard nothing out of the ordinary. So I was second guessing myself about the Ferdinand charge. Yeah, I mean, hey, did that really happen? So I come to the point, yeah, it really happened. No matter how I try to talk myself out of it, it really happened. And if nothing ever happened again, I know what happened that one night back in 02. So anyway, this one November afternoon, yeah, I was back at work now, and I work from 6 to 2:30. Yeah, I was a welder, like you said, and so I got Buddy out in the forest about 3:30, 4 o'clock, or whenever I got home and rolled up there, and we took about a 5-mile hike every day. I'd go up 2.5 miles and come back, and this was on the Knobstone Trail. It's a little trail. A lot of people compare it to the Appalachian Trail in a mini version. It's really hilly. It's very hard to hike, but it's very very beautiful. A lot of hills, like streams. Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere. So I walked Buddy up and walked back. So on this one afternoon, I got out a little later, but when we were still out, I had my backpack, his water. I had my water and his leash, and that was about it. No weapons, knives, just me. So we hiked and we went in about 2.5 miles and sat down for a water break, and that's when we turned around and went back. So Buddy drank his water. I was drinking mine. This little buck comes walking by. He was real muscular, had velour coming off his little antlers. just beautiful. I called him Rudolph. Yeah, buddies, doing the lasting thing, putting his leash on him and everything, because he liked chasing deers. So there's a big wall there, like of ivy, honeysuckle, that kind of green that stays green. After all the leaves fall, this is the last stuff that stays green in the forest. And he walked behind that. So I go, well, that's all that, that's what we come out here for, buddies, to see that. That was beautiful. And all out fight broke out. Sticks breaking, branches breaking, big heavy footsteps, rustling. It sounded like a big melee going on over there. And, buddy's ears are all perked up, and I'm like, what the? All of a sudden, this deer comes flying out. Now he ain't being thrown. He's going out horizontal with his legs straight out. And he hit the ground. He went back up. So I'm just getting Buddy hooked up, and Buddy's watching him. Yeah, look at that guy go. His white tail straight up in the air. He's flying down through the valley. So again, Buddy's just amazed, crying, kind of wanting to go after him. And so all of a sudden I go, well, Buddy, what scared that little boy over? What was going on? So his head went from left to right. And again, I haven't looked up yet. I was still messing with Buddy. And his hair come up. He started growling. It's like Cujo, man. I never seen him like this. He was going off. I'm thinking to myself, man, oh no. So, the old saying, man, be careful what you wish for. Well, I'm holding Buddy, so I slowly, I'm down on my knees. So I slowly look up over his head. And lo and behold, there's two Sasquatch standing there. Not one, two. Shoulder to shoulder, right next to this wall of ivy I just described. And I'm looking at him, man, and I was like, holy shit, man. I go, well, this is it. I go, this is probably the day I'm going to die, man. Again, I kind of locked up. I froze. I didn't know what to do, to be honestly with you. Had all these emotions going through my mind. I'm trying to hold Buddy back. Buddy, man, Buddy wants him bad, man. He is going off. So I'm looking at him. And again, my Navy training comes to me. No matter how outmanned or outgunned, show your enemy that you're not afraid of them. Stand up to them no matter what you got. That's all I have is me. So I started looking them in the eyes. And I tried not to be afraid. I probably wasn't. I didn't take off running. I didn't do anything. I stood there like a man, and I looked at them in their eyes like a man would. And the first one was an old red brown one, and he looked like an old Native American Indian chief. His face was all wrinkled, all underneath his eyebrows, his forehead. His nose was all wrinkled. He had a receding hairline that was real thin, but yet he was very peaceful looking. It was like he had love on his face. His eyes were very calming. And then I look over to the right one, and not so much with this guy. He was, I don't know if he was his son or related to him. I have no idea. His buddy. I just know they were together. And I call this one Little Kong. He had a body like a miniature King Kong. He had the ripples in his belly. He had a chest like King Kong. He had arms like King Kong. This thing was a pure beast of power, man. He was just power from head to toe. Now, I didn't look at them too much other than their eyes. I didn't want to look at, A lot of people ask me, well, what this look like, what their feet look like, what their Gentiles look. I said, look, I wasn't looking at their, usually from their head down. That's all I cared about. I was thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do if they come at me? So I'm thinking, well, I wonder if they ever had a good hard right uppercut or right cross across their nose. I bet you they never felt one of them. So I'm thinking of ways to defend myself. I mean, let's face it, I was no match for these guys. But again, I'm going to go down fighting. Yeah, this is my curtain call. So be it. But I'm gonna do what I can to protect me and my dog from dying. That's what I was thinking. So I looked back at the red one, back at the black one, and you wouldn't believe, but most of them, most of the time, they were staring at Buddy. They were really, really intrigued by Buddy's courage. You hear most dogs, they put their tails between their legs and they won't go out in the yard and they run. They whimper off. These dogs, these Bigfoots are probably impressed that Buddy was willing to give up his life for me. So again, I figured this was probably another test. They could have stayed behind that wall of the ivy. I never would have seen them. They came out for a reason. They came out for me to see them from head to toe, not one, but two. That was the day that I knew what happened out in Ferdinand was 100% real. That is the day I realized that these people were not interested in eating meat because they looked too much like me to eat meat. They had human faces. They had human characteristics. They had bodies other than what I can't describe as just enormous. They are very, very big people, but as I learned since, some of them aren't as big, some of them ain't as tall. But these two were big, they were tall, and they were very, what are you going to say? They were very terrorizing looking, even though they didn't hurt me, even though they didn't yell at me, they didn't scream at me, they didn't growl at me. They didn't do anything but stood there like perfect gentlemen, respecting me, looking at me, and I did the same to them. I stood there, and I call it the knockstone stare down. This lasted every bit of 4 to 5 minutes. I wasn't timing, but it seemed like an eternity. But finally, I reached down. I said, Buddy, well, this is long enough. You ready to go? I didn't even pay attention to him. Threw the water bowl. The water bottle was in the bag. Threw it over my shoulder. Pulled him away. He was still going at him. So I kind of glanced over. And I said, sorry, gentlemen. I said, we're not on the menu today. I said, we're leaving now. And I just seen him try to kill that little buck over there. I knew they were hungry. I knew they were ready to eat something. I thank God it wasn't me. But again, that was a big day in my life because if they were that hungry and they were really that vicious and mean, well, I wouldn't be here talking to you gentlemen right now. I would be nothing. I would probably be in a David Pilates missing 411 book. But after that day, I took a new avenue towards it. I said, well, they're not going to hurt me. Maybe they like me. I'll become friends with them. So I started walking the same creek over and over and over. 3-4 times a week. And I put out oranges, bananas, apples. You wouldn't believe about a month or two how much fruit rotted out there. I'm like, well, I guess they don't like me, man. They're not even taking my stuff. So my son started coming out with me. And then we started leaving donuts. And sometimes on the way back, the donuts would be gone. Sometimes they would be gone like in a half an hour. I said, maybe they don't like the fruit, man. Maybe they like donuts. And we do stuff in the forest, like play the guitar and laugh and giggle and not even pay attention to them. You know, just doing what we do to have fun. You know, we built a sacred fire pit. We built a teepee like they built. We started hearing them in the background. We heard laughing. We heard vocals. They were really interested and very, very, you know, enthused of what we were doing. And the more we went out there, the more they were doing for us. We started leaving them better stuff, whole chicken, different varieties of donuts. Of course, it was just the you know, the glazed ones. Then it started cinnamon rolls, then honey nut rolls with nuts on it, you know, stuff like that. You know, up in her ante. And I always take a bite out of it and let them know it was good food, good snack. And then when I push it up another level, when I start camping up there at the campsite, there's a stump about 100 feet back. That's what we call the gifting stump. Every time we go camping, man, we leave a smorgasbord back there. Sometimes within an hour, it'd all be gone. I mean, it was amazing. And then they started leaving me gifts. Then they started leaving me stuff, rocks, turkey feathers, different, like a stick of wife stick in the stuff, you know, wife or Yost. You know, as a way of communicating. One night behind my tent, I had a group camp out. I had multi-witnesses hear this. About 3 in the morning, I had one come up behind my tent and say my name, Greg, just like that, twice. I froze in my tent. I didn't know what to do. Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, come on in. Yeah, he caught me totally off guard. The first time, I didn't want to believe that it was him. Then he did it again. It keeps going. Yeah, it kept going, and I started treating these people like family. I had a friend come out. He came up with. They went back to give me some of his family. I even tell you the man's name, Parker Duvall. He came back up, man, with his family, his wife, some kids, his little boy. And he goes, hey, Greg. And it looked like he'd seen a ghost, man. And we had a big camp out that weekend. He goes, hey, does Clarence mean anything to you? I go, yeah, it means everything to me. That's Eugene's middle name. I named him after my uncle, my favorite uncle. Uncle Clarence. I go, Eugene Clarence, my dad and him. That's who I named my two favorite men, dead. He carries on their name. He goes, they named one of their offsprings Clarence. They just told me and my son back here that they mind speak to Parker. Yeah, I can say they don't to me, but they do to Parker. And he told me this stuff only I would know. And the Bigfoots know because they know everything. They can read your mind, your mind, your mind. That's how intelligent, and that's a gift they got. But he knew Clarence was an important name to my life. And they named one of their siblings Clarence. And Parker and his son seen Clarence out there clear as a bell, right in broad daylight. So Parker wanted me to know this. So that's just one incident of how much love they showed for me and my family. We were out there with Eugene's newborn baby, right after she was born. This is probably in June, 1 year ago. She's 1.5 years. So this is about 1 year ago. They were playing a drumming ceremony for our witnesses. Welcoming the baby, man, to the force, to the clan. It was like, and this was coming from a creek area down in the forest where there is no noise whatsoever. It just started coming together that that these things wasn't some big frightening animal, some big monster out there, big bloodthirsty monster. These things are very, very loving creatures. Yeah, I got a big heart. That's why they pick me. I'm a good man. I got a good heart. I have never screwed over anybody. I respect, like I don't want to get into all that, but everything I told you earlier, that's who I am. And they found me, and I used the high intelligence that the good Lord had gave me to figure this out with nobody else's help. And there's others like me. I'm not going to say I'm the only one. There's quite a few people out there that know the true way of the forest people. And there's a lot of people that don't. Hopefully one day they will. I respect everybody's research and willingness to get out there in the woods, put on their boots, and go do what they like doing. And at the end of the day, it don't matter if they're flesh and blood, if they come from another planet, if they come from the center of the earth. To me, that is all. That's all hearsay, meaningless. It doesn't mean anything to me. Well, what matters to me is that these people are out here and they have picked me to interact with and have a relationship with, and it keeps getting better and better and better by the year. And I promise these people I would never make a dime off of them. I would never try to get no more pictures of them. Curious George, y'all seen that picture? He gave me that. And that was my gift to let the people know that, hey, we are out here. They knew I was having a hard time. Every time I talked to somebody about Bigfoot, they laughed at me. I wasn't on Facebook. I didn't know all these people were interested in the same subject I was. I thought I was some kind of freak. I was one of a kind, believing in Bigfoot. So, I wanted to keep it to myself. Everybody I told, even my family, my friends at work, nobody believed it. So that day, Curious George let me get his pictures. That was a game changer. That's one of the best pictures of Bigfoot out there. Again, I'm not bragging or anything. I'm a modest man. I'm just telling you what they gave me that day, and that's all I need. So I promise them I would never take their pictures. I would never try to get them on audio again. I got one saying Yahweh. That's another name for God, speaking English. Again, they wanted to show me some of their powers. And they can speak English. They can disappear. They can mind speak. They start showing me all the things they can do. And now I have put all this together, and I'm finally starting to realize, truly in my heart, that these people are no more, no less, but God's people. They have been put here on earth just like us humans. I'm not saying they're humans, but they're godly people. God has made these people like He has made us. If you look in the Bible, it says God has built 7 mansions, meaning heavens. And of course, one of these mansions are for us, the humans. But you got to ask yourself, who are the other 6 mansions for? Well, I clearly believe one is for the forest people. And at least 4 more mansions. Who else? The alien? Everything out here could be God's word. Nobody can deny it and nobody can prove it. But you got to believe in something. And that's what I believe in. And I believe that the forest people have come here from another planet, that they're not originated from Earth, that they reside here now. And that's all that matters to me. And if people want to second guess me and say I'm crazy, whatever, for saying that, hey, that's too bad. But when you see 12 of them together with a UFO, maybe you will come to grips with reality and think the way I think. But that night, me, my son, and John Gregory seen 12 to 15 of them in a big bright UFO, and they all run to it. What was all that about? Well, I've been thinking about that. That's happened 3 years ago.
Oh, fill that story out for us, will you? Fill that story out for us, will you? Fill out the UFO story. That's a good one because people need to know that that's real.
Yeah, it's very, very real, my man. Okay, it was March. Like I say, man, so much stuff happens. I'm not like, I don't consider myself a researcher. Yeah, I don't take notes. I don't, hey, whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm a free will and big hearted man. That's all. That's the only equipment I carry, man, is my heart. You know, whatever happens, yeah, I got my audio, that's my ears. I got my video, that's my eyes. And whoever else is with me, they get to witness it too. But anyway, on this night in March, you know, we're going up this Saturday. We're driving around the forest. There was a big log laying over the forest road going up to the mountain. So we're all talking about, what do you think a Bigfoot did this, or why do you think this is there, or blah blah blah. And so I'm like, well, just like a police detective. I go, they push us over here. Apparently they don't want nobody coming up the road. I go, guess what? We're going to come back tonight, and just maybe, something might happen. So we went back that night, and this is a one-way road, keep in mind. And it dead ends down, up over the mountain, down the mountain, and it dead ends in a lake. So there's no traffic hardly ever on it. More or less, you know, that late at night. This is a Saturday night, you know, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I turned my Jeep around, and I had the back of my Jeep up against the wall, and we took off walking up the hill. So we walked a couple miles, and you know, nothing happening, man. You know, it was cold up there. It was drizzling. It was real cloudy. There wasn't one star out. It was pretty dark out, but you know, once you're out in the dark, you know, you can get night vision. You know, your eyes get adjusted to the dark, so you can see pretty good once you were out for a while. But yeah, there wasn't nothing going on, so you know, we started walking back. So we get up to the top of the hill, and I mean, we walked through the hills. I didn't know this was the hill my Jeep was parked down. So I looked down there, and there was all these amber yellow lights. I mean, a whole bunch of them, like 25, 30 of these lights down there. So I pointed down there to John Gregory and Eugene, and I said, hey, look. I said, look, it looks like a village down there. Everybody's looking, and all of a sudden, they heard me say that, and more of them looked up that way. And immediately I said, hey, y'all, they're Bigfoots. And it was amazing. I mean, the yellow eyes everywhere. I couldn't really get a good count. That's why I say 12 to 15. I mean, there's at least that many. And there's like in the back of my Jeep, there's a real tall one, 2 eyes. There's 2 small ones, 2 eyes. On the side, there was 3 or 4 on each side. There was real big ones in the back. You know, I didn't know that was my Jeep at first. And then they was lighting up their yellow eyes, and they were looking at my Jeep. And it was amazing, man. You can see the red cherry metallic on my Jeep. They were lighting it up with their eyes. And I mean, we're just having a ball, man, going, oh, my God. And we're keep walking. You know, we're getting closer and closer. They're not running off or nothing. You know, some of them are watching us. You know, we're talking everything. You know, and they're looking at us. Some of them are looking at the Jeep. You know, it wasn't no big deal. You know, they love me and trust me. They know I'm not going to hurt them. So then you know, we got about 25 feet from my Jeep. Here comes this big bright anomaly, a big light coming through the woods. It was like a train locomotive light. I've never seen nothing this bright. And at first we thought it was on the road or something, but there wasn't no tires. Tires were squealing. Engine. This was gently floating through the forest over a 500-foot ravine. And everybody's like, well, what is that? What is that? And it kept floating and floating. And we're still walking. Yeah, we're about 10 feet. And all the Bigfoots take off to the light. Yeah, they're going down this steep ass ravine with an incline that humans couldn't go down. And you can hear them running down to the light. And the light goes off. And then you hear one big one right next to us. And John Gregory points over and says, yeah, I hear it. Then Eugene points down. There's a 90-degree turn right down there, 50 feet in front of the Jeep or on the road. Like, look, Dad, look. So we look down there, and there's two big ones standing down there to see their eyes. And I said, well, they must be the guards that are making sure everybody cleared out. I said, they had a big rendezvous up there tonight, dude. We were right in the middle of it. And then Eugene's like, what do you think that light is, Dad? And I said, well, it could be only two things. It could be one of their crafts coming down for a pickup or a drop off. Maybe dropping off more of their people or taking these people. I don't know, man. We didn't see them. We just see them run to it. Or it could be Yahweh himself coming for a visit. God, Yahweh, a big, bright light, brilliant. Never so brilliant in my life have I seen such light. So it could have been a matter of things that night. But they did not run us off. They did not scream at us, throw sticks or rocks at us. If they didn't want us to witness this, they wouldn't have. They did not care one way or another how close we got, what we did, or anything. We were basically standing in the crowd with them when we got there. So anyway, Eugene goes, Dad, will your Jeep start? Like, I don't know, man. I'm watching down there. I'm trying to find out what's there. He goes, Dad, will your Jeep start? I go, what? Are you scared? He goes, no, I want to see if I got to walk back to camp and get my car and jump you. Because they have drained my battery before. They're high energy people. They need a lot of energy, man, when they turn invisible all the time. That's what I try to teach people. That's why these tree bows you see out in the woods, these are energy bows. It goes out of the ground, back into the ground. It's one cycle bow of constant energy from the earth back into the earth. It forces people to use these bows. I call them like charging stations, man, to get under there for energy. Well, anyway, we go back to camp. We all jump in the Jeep. We go back to camp, and we pull in the camp, and he's like, look. He said there's a real big black one standing over the tent, huge. And me and John looked up. We didn't see it, but Eugene did. And that's how that night went. So, I don't know how many people can say that they have ever seen a phenomenon like this. 12 to 15 Ford people with a UFO all together. But I certainly can.
I got a friend. I think he's in upstate New York, and he's got a UFO hotspot, and he sees almost every night or a couple times a week UFOs come in behind his house, and they'll drop off a ball of light, and then a Sasquatch will run away, or they'll come and they'll pick up a ball of light. So this has been happening for this guy for 5 years since I've known him. So it does happen. I mean, there's a connection there between certain ETs and the Sasquatch people. There's no question about it. They do stuff with each other.
Yeah, I 100% agree. If in fact, the spaceship is not their own craft. I'm kind of one that believes that they don't have nothing to do with the little great people, but they got their own crafts. But if the aliens are messing with them, it might be the same way they do with us. Like Travis. Travis Walton, the guy that got abducted for 5 days. That stuff goes on. So maybe these aliens are abducting the force people like they do us, and then letting them back down when they're done with them. Like I said, this is just a hunch of mine, but I don't think, as far as anybody knows the truth behind any of this, I don't think anybody does. So it's all speculation and hearsay. But yeah, I truly believe there's something going on there, Mike.
Well, there's actual data. There's actually a scientific survey that was done on all kind of experiences for the people who've been on craft before. And one of the questions on this big survey was, what kind of people do you see on the craft? So they had them in order of light beings, and then tall humans, and all these different things. And then about the fifth or sixth one down was large hairy human types and small hairy human types, meaning Sasquatch, right? And that was running at 14% of the people saw a large hairy human type Sasquatch on a craft. And this is a worldwide survey. It was a really big deal survey. And then 17% of the people saw the small hairy type humans. Yeah. But listen to this. This was in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, this lady named what's her name? There's a lady who's a researcher. I forget her name. She's a UFO researcher, and she's also into Bigfoot. She says down in South America, it's 50% of the people who get taken on a craft, like abducted or taken on a craft. In South America, they say it's a Sasquatch craft and Sasquatch crew. That's 50% of people. So you're talking about the Sasquatch people actually having fleets of craft to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I just didn't even come up with that. I was told this. I don't know how much you're into, but this is broke wide open for me, and I'm really at the point in my life now. Well, I don't care what people think of me, whatever. I just tell the truth, what happens. But since you said that, I gotta tell you about my out of body experience I had, and this was no dream. This really happened. It's never happened before. I didn't know anything about this. So I thought I was having a dream. So I'll tell it to you in a nutshell. I'm in like a golden room, and I'm sitting in the middle, and there's an oval, like round table behind me, and I'm sitting in the middle of the table, and there's two bright figures in front of me. These guys, they're Anu and Inky. All the other people sitting around me are force people. Big ones, women, small ones. They got different sizes, man. There's 13 of them. And I'm in the middle. And it's like I was at court or something. And you asked me earlier in the interview, or your friend, that I forgot his name, if you thought that was the way they picked me or chose me when it came down. I go, well, yeah, that's where it all started. And this has led to that. Well, anyway, I'm sitting in this room, and they tell me who they are. They go, we're the Anunnaki, Lulu, the working class. And we have come to get you, to tell you this, because you're one with us. Yeah, they said I'm one with them, and they're one with me. They went on to say that they come to the earth all the time to get gold for the ionizers on their planet. Not for the riches, but for the ionizers to keep the air clean. But it's such a tedious process, and the planet was in such bad despair. The earth is so beautiful. They said, hey, we'll just relocate to earth, and we'll hide and live and strive in the forest, and the humans will never know we're here. And that's what they did. I mean, I can't put a date on this. I can't put a figure of how many of them. I just know there's a whole bunch of them on Earth, and there's probably more to come. And they told me just what you said. They asked me if I had questions, and I go, "Do y'all work hand in hand with the Greh people, the aliens?" They said, "No, we got our own craft. We have nothing to do with them people. Matter of fact, we despise them." Which was a good answer. I asked them what their mission was here on Earth, other than to live. They did say they're God's people, and they work hand in hand with God. They're God's warriors, and their main function on Earth is to remind us humans of how not to pollute it. Like their planet, and whatever happened to their planet got destroyed. They don't want Earth to happen the same way. You know, their concerns, the water, the air, the ground, everything. You know, they despise people who pollute, and they despise a lot of things about humans. You know, the crime, the greed, the inconsideration, just on and on and on. There's a whole list of stuff they cannot stand that the human race is doing. It seems like everybody's out for themselves. But man has gotten away from his real responsibility, and that's to help other men and with less fortunate and like God would do. Everybody has got away from acting godly. A lot of people don't even believe in God anymore. Well, I hate to tell people, but if they remember, if they believe in religion, they better think back that when God came to Noah and said he's seen enough of this, he's going to flood the world, and your family's going to be the only survivor, and 2 of every animal I have created. And we're going to try this again, and try to get the righteous, godly people that I've so much deserve to have, but I cannot get it right. The people do not want to do what I want them to, so we'll try it again. Well, look what happened. Look at this day and age now compared to back then. It's tenfold of what God was despised of now. I mean, look at the shape of the earth, the pollution, the ozone problem, the holes, the glacier meltdowns, all the plastic in the oceans. Just on and on and on. And this world is a mess. The people in it, all the wars, all the hatred, all the bigamy, the prejudice. It has just gotten off the hook. God does not want it. And I'm not going to tell you how it ends, man. They'll figure this out. But the forest people are working hand in hand with God. You can trust me on this one. I would not put people in denial on this. This is what I have been told. And Michael, if anybody I know, you can see eye to eye with me on this. I mean, people talk about the end, the rapture, the cleansing, the purge. It's even in the book of Revelations. But people can close their eyes to this and hope it goes away. But I have been opened up. I have had an out-of-body experience with them. I can feel their pain. I can feel their passion. And I, for one, I can honestly say I really believe what's going to go down. And I'll keep believing that. And I've also been told when it's all said and done, we will have a new world order. Humans will sit on the council with the forest people. It will be a new world order. There will be no more countries, no more presidents, no more dictators, no more this, no more that. The people that make it through this, they will be godly people for real. Again, God will start over. They even told me the number of people. They told me 1.8 million people will survive this. And that's a drop in the bucket compared to what we have, Michael. There's billions and billions of people. That tells you how many people that have gone wayward, my brother. But anyway, at the end of this meeting, they told me I went to bed that night with a severe headache and a real bad backache. They told me when I woke up that morning, I would feel like a 20-year-old man. And they said if that wasn't enough, they would drain the juice out of my brand new Sears diehard battery in my Jeep just to double check to make sure that I believe what happened wasn't a dream. As soon as I woke up, man, I felt like $100 bill. No headache, no bad back. And I said, my Jeep, I run out in the driveway, completely dead. I just put a brand new battery in it yesterday. Nothing. So I go back in the house. So pumped up, man. I couldn't believe it. Eugene and his girlfriend, they're married now, but they wasn't. They sleep in the bedroom before me, down the hall, and they sleep on the floor. You know, they're like me, man. They're real earthly people. You know, they like sleeping on a hard floor. They don't like mattresses, and you know, they sleeping on the floor, and they got like a half-inch gap, you know, underneath the door. Eugene said about 3 o'clock in the morning, he seen 2 pairs of big ass hairy feet walk by his door. It sounded like they walked into my room. So he said he jumped up, opened up his door, and went in my room. He said I was laying there, but he said it felt like all the energy in my room got sucked out. So he didn't think nothing of it, man. Went back to bed. So I told him the next day what happened, and I blew his mind. Just like I probably blew a lot of people's mind on his interview. But this is something that I was told, and I truly believe in one sense or another, it will happen.
Nah, let's cut it off. Yeah. All right, stop screen share. Yeah. Well, this is pretty darn exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing story.
In chat, from Pat to everyone. They're hearing every word. Communication is a key. Okay, let me go back here to Greg and see if we can't get him back on. You guys got any questions or things you want me to ask, or
What? Ask Greg? Well, we can ask him.
I can't hear you guys either. What's going on?
We're here. I'm here.
Can you hear me, Kev?
Yeah, I can hear you, Brian.
Okay. Weird.
Something not right. I'm not getting any hearing.
Because
Hey, Brian, can you say something?
Hey, how you doing?
No, I can't. I got no hearing. Wonder what that's all about. Huh?
How do you do that? How do you do that call me thing, Kevin? You're almost of that generation. Can you hear us?
This is crazy. Okay, let me go into settings
He
here.
looks like Larry from the Three Stooges.
that was Curly. No, it's Larry. You're right.
Curly's the guy with no hair. Which was odd.
Right.
And Larry was the guy like that. Like that.
Yep.
Kind of like Beans there. So anyway, what's going to take?
My whole damn audio went out.
Are you trying to get Mr. Yost back, or what's going on?
Well, I'm still working on it.
There he is.
Can you hear us now, Michael? Apparently not.
McMorkel Show's 5th year, and
Got to get rid of that guy. I mean, this show has hit the all-time lows today.
Right? I probably don't have anyone watching anymore either.
Even though the guest was amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
mean,
love his stories. Holy cow.
Well, I'd like to get him back on when we have a more secure platform or whatever too. We could probably have to have an executive meeting and we need a producer, Kev.
What we need to go on to StreamYard. I mean, come on, just quit playing around. So anyway, my speaker got unplugged, and it was a little bit embarrassing because I unplugged my speaker, turned everything off.
So you're back. You're back.
Listen, Brian, all you have to do is launch a face meeting with Greg and then screen share it. That's all you got to do. Or you want me to do it?
What, on Streamline, on Streamworks, you mean, or whatever?
No, right now. I'm going to call him back and get him back on.
Yeah, get him back on then.
All right. Well, I'm going to back off then again, you guys.
No, you can hang around.
Well, no, I know, but again, it's not my show. I'm just filling airtime for you when you need it.
Stop feeling inadequate.
Oh, I don't feel inadequate.
Okay, then stop feeling
superfluous.
Prove it by what?
Hanging around.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna mute myself though, because sometimes
we need you for moral support.
No.
Give me a screen share here. Okay, there we go. Now we're back in business. All right. So I don't know. That was completely my fault. I can walk the walk of shame for not having my thing plugged in.
Well, that's okay because now Greg can be honored to be part of probably the one show that was more screwed up than any other show we ever had, and yet his stories were amazing. So,
his stories are too good, man. You're too good. This is exactly what we made the Pork and Bean show for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
To screw everything up and then some good stories in between.
Well, yeah. Listen, Sasquatch told us from day one that we're not in control. Nobody's in control. It just happens the way it happens.
They can manipulate audio. Trust me.
They unplug my speakers.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Brian and Kevin, you guys come up with some questions. I'm going to go step outside for just a minute.
Michael, you better not be taking a smoke break, dude. This is not time for that.
But
See, no. Let's see if you're strong enough.
No.
No. See if you're strong enough.
But.
Who's the boss? The cigarette.
Look, see, our guest is smoking, so I think I should join him in a smoke. Except I have to smoke outside because of house rules.
House rules, yeah.
House rules.
In other words, the cigarettes. Okay, wins.
I thought it was the UFOs and aliens because listen, this is a big deal. This UFO aliens and the good guys and the bad guys because we've been manipulated by the bad guy aliens for a long time, and we've had enough of it. I heard there's a big war been going on over this stuff, in outer space and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's 3 different breeds of aliens, from what I gather. One group are good, and the other 2 aren't so. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot to go there, man. You start talking about little gray men. I mean, I'm sure they're out there. They got them at Area 51. I mean, they got to be real. I know Bigfoot's real. I've seen him a bunch of times, but I have never seen a little alien dude, a little gray guy. So,
Uh-oh. Get back on there, Kev. Yeah, this is a really bad connection.
Yeah, I think that we need to reschedule Greg and
Yeah,
not we, you need to, because wow, his story is fantastic. And
Yeah.
it parallels your story and my story so well, but it's enough different. And with enough, I mean, he's had, in my opinion, compared to my experiences, he's had some really phenomenal, they've really revealed some phenomenal stuff to him. And that is, my hat's off. That they must find him pretty special.
I think it's where they want you to end up in your understanding and your knowing. The route there and the way they teach you and express it and show you are all unique and different.
Yeah.
But the knowing and whatever is the goal. But
So
yeah,
I didn't find myself necessarily. I didn't find myself being.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Sorry. No, that's fine. But when you hear all these different stories, there's always so many things that are different and wow about all our stories uniquely. But there's also very many commonalities that are just like, you just see the commonalities in all of them. It's like there's it's almost like there's a box of 30 cubes or balls or whatever, and or balls, and like in a lottery or something, and we all get our own mixture of the balls or whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you get some of them are very, very common, and they enhance your understanding, whatever, because you hear other people collaborate on it, and then others are just like, well, some people see them more, some people feel them more, some people, it's just different experiences, right? Like,
absolutely,
all unique, all blessed, all absolutely. But the bottom line is that we all seem to come out with a real soft, kind, loving, heartfelt connection and whatever. Like,
excuse me.
Tell with Greg.
Excuse me.
Going on.
Sorry, I couldn't mute fast enough.
I said you can tell with Greg that that's what's going on. So that's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So see, now I really have a reason to call Mr. Beans on his lack of strength. Because I can't do anything with any of the screen or whatever while he's out having a smoke.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah.
I thought you were host. I thought you can remove his permission.
No, I can't.
Why not?
I don't know, but I can't. Because he's controlling it. So that screen is under his control, so I can't take it off.
But you're the host, right? You have,
yeah, but he brought Greg in independent.
Well, I know, but Greg's not here, and you should be able to go into the settings.
I can't do anything.
Really?
No, I can't do anything. Oh, I can do that though. Okay, I guess I can do a couple things. But
see if I can steal it. I just stole it.
Stole what?
The screen. What are you seeing?
I just see us. We look bigger.
Did you take screen sharing away from me too? Because you should be seeing. Actually, it's a piece of art by Shirley McDaniels.
No, I don't see it. I just see Greg Yost. Call failed. See, I think that's where Mike or Mr. Beans has to close that out, because I'm trying to close it out, and I have no control over that. The big, that's the part I'm talking about. I can still control our views and whatever. But is that what you see too, Greg Yost?
No, because I'm sharing my screen. What I see is my screen shared.
Oh, okay.
I can, but I also see off to the right. I see you, and me, and Michael, but I don't see his screen at all.
Yeah, I really like what you were talking about earlier on in the show about getting some pretty cool stuff there. Very concise with your words and stuff. I like that.
So I'm trying to write it down.
What the heck is going on?
Someone's calling. I bet it's Greg.
Ridiculous. You see, I'm going to not see. We have to sort of stop smoking campaign for Mr. Beans,
Right?
don't we? Look at all the hell that's broke loose since he's gone out for a smoke. So you have to support me on this when he comes back.
Okay.
We have to stand. We have to show solidarity between us.
Right.
We have to be a little tougher and meaner than you normally like to be. There he is.
Michael.
Wait, I still got to do something.
No.
Yeah, but you shared your screen and all we see is Greg Yost call failed. We can't do anything.
You failed us. Your weakness has put this show on halt, and we're not taking it. Damn it!
So anyway, Brian, the reason why, well, not the reason, what I was talking about earlier about vibration and frequency and what we can do within our own selves to improve ours. I'm writing it up. I'm trying to and it's actually turning into a lot bigger of a project than I had intended, because what I really felt like I had to do was set what are the premises that I'm starting from, because a lot of people just assume you have all the pre-assumptions or knowledge in mind before you move on to the vibration. You can't do that. You really have to say, look, these are the things that support or are supported by observation, science, or experience that then tie into this is how vibration, frequency, and energy is going to work. And by the way, meditation is all well and good, and all these other external things are all well and good. The way you treat other people is all well and good, but nothing's going to change your vibration or standard frequency more so than changing your perspective, changing your inner self-talk. And I personally had a really hard time with that for a lot of years. Anyway, sounds like we're getting a call again, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, you know what? We should.
Hey, Greg.
All right.
So I am the weakest link, seems like.
Because he's weak. He's not to slow down.
I am the weakest link. Let's try this again. Because those guys did you guys talk to the people in the chat? We got like 40, 50 people.
No, man, I can't see anything because I couldn't do anything because you were weak. Out for a cigarette, and you had that.
You have to go on to.
You
have to go onto a Pork and Beans show group and then talk to people. That's kind of what you're supposed to. Both you guys are supposed to be doing that.
Hang on a second.
Responsible citizens.
You had control of my computer with your screen share. I could not get out of that.
This is the Zoom is on a different window altogether.
No, man, you had complete control of my whole computer. I couldn't talk to my girlfriend. I couldn't check Facebook.
You lie like a dog.
Mr. Wellington, am I telling the truth?
Well, no, actually that was user error, because if he had hit the escape key, it would have minimized the whole screen that he was taking up, and it would have gotten smaller, and then you could have gone to any other window you wanted to.
I don't know, man. I tried a few things.
But now we have a little cat fight here going on.
Hold on, I'm going to hit escape key.
Yeah, I saw it change.
Okay, fine.
Okay, we're back in business temporarily, and I got to pee and smoke a cigarette. That was really good. So it was all about me this time.
Hey, listen, I want to tell everybody here, we're going to have an executive meeting this week. We're going to try to set up a better format because
no kidding.
Because this chaos has got a lot of charm to it, but at a certain point, when it's going over the cliff and just about to to collide with a hard surface, that's when the charm becomes less and less charming. So yeah, but
This is my stick lift that they gave me. Can you see it? Yeah. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one.
Man, Sasquatch, all one, all connected. That's
Yeah, but the thing was, this was in connection with the other one, which was much bigger and thinner, where the two came together. This is the one that says that instead of it being a really, a prosperous future, it's going to get cut off. And this is what Greg was talking about, the 1 million something, 2 million people, or you know what I mean? That's what this represents, the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out, that this whole thing that you've been talking about, Greg, was already given to me a couple of days ago with stick lifts, and they're showing me about the importance of what's going on now. That it's important that the humans and the Sasquatch get together, and that if things go bad, it's going to be a lot of people dead, and we're going to have to rely on each other, the Sasquatch and the humans, to make a new world. Basically, we're talking about making a new world. And
Yeah, the New World Order.
And it's going to be people who have big hearts and respect for Mother Nature. That's what it's going to be.
Wait a minute, though. The name New World Order sounds like we generally associate that with the bad guys.
Yep.
A new world, a new world. I guess you could call it New World Order, but isn't that what we generally associate with the bad guys, the New World Order?
Well, probably the bad guys stole the New World Orders from the angels or something.
I guess a new, kinder, more heartfelt, heart-centered, higher vibrational kind of existence. Yeah.
I'm a little bit like you, Greg. I only had mind speak one time with the Sasquatch, but I feel connected to him almost every day.
Well, Kevin and I were talking about that. It's like there's 30 ping pong balls in the lottery thing. Of all the, and there's more, but let's just say that's all the different things that the Sasquatch can do and teach you with, and ways they do it. And we all get a certain amount of balls, and they're all valid, and they're all equal, right? But I mean, so there's a lot of crossover experiences, but there's also a lot of things that are unique to each individual, right? You know what I mean?
I'm still having a hard time of we're all going to die. That's,
No.
Well, that starts with a good heart, man. You got to have a good, godly heart, man. That's where it all starts with.
Yes.
And if you're a rotten individual and there's a lot out there, you don't have a chance, man. There ain't nothing you can do or say. You already been marked. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's too late to change it. It's so that's the common denominator. What kind of heart do you have? What kind of man are you down deep? That's the big question people need to be asking themselves. I know what kind of man I am. I've been trying to teach this for years. Anybody who wants to listen, I'll be glad to teach them that this is more than some big hairy ape man out running around in the woods. A lot more to it.
Oh, yeah.
And most people don't have a clue of what's going on. So I feel very blessed that I have used my intelligence that God has given me to figure this out. I mean, it's a big puzzle. And I hear people talk about Bigfoot all the time, and I consider myself very fortunate that I'm way up here on the mountain with my knowledge and my intelligence to be more on a playing level playing field with these people than most. Just because of my good heart, that's what got me into the club. People with bad hearts will never even see one until it's too late. So if they don't believe in them now, they surely will on that one day that will be coming.
Well, somebody with a bad heart isn't even going to understand anything that you're saying. So, I mean, they can't even get to that understanding. So, it's all about your heart.
You can't go to Costco or Walmart and buy a good heart. Yeah, you're born with it. You develop it. You're taught it. Most hearts today are full of hatred, jealousy. Like in the Ten Commandments, go down the list. I shall not covet my neighbor's goods. How many people you always hear talking about other people's goods? Oh man, he's got a nice boat. I wish I had one. Or stuff like that. That's coveting your neighbor's goods. That's not good. Drooling over other women. That are married, and in most cases, the man's even married. That's a big no-no. People just can't do what they're supposed to do anymore. They're not happy with the way it's supposed to be. Everybody needs more, extra, more. I guess being a sinner is more fun than being a godly man. But you're right. You either got a bad heart. It's like this. When I say man, I mean all mankind, man, women, children. You either got a good heart or you don't. You're a good person or you're a bad person. There's no gray areas. There's no in-betweens. There's no black and white. You either got a good heart or a bad heart. That's simple. That's where it all starts with. And that's what got me with the forest people is my good heart, nothing else. I have learned through my intelligence what to do next. So my heart got me in the door. And my heart will keep me in the door to the end.
Yeah, that's what the Sasquatch people, they gave me something called the Love Zap, put me in their vibration of no judgment. And you didn't have to know anything. You just knew, right? And you didn't need anything. You had everything you needed, kind of thing. That's kind of where they reside, and that's where they're trying to rise us up to, as I see it.
Yeah, I agree, Brian.
And
I'll be good with that.
Because there's no judgment. There's none of those lower vibrational judgments and hatreds and concerns. It's like freedom. It's like, wow. It's like it felt universal knowing kind of thing or whatever. That's what they're trying to rise us up to, which is what you're saying in a nutshell too, right?
Yeah, well, they're the ancient ones, and they live like the ancient ones.
Yeah.
They don't need all this modernization. They don't need all these gadgets. They don't need these fancy houses and automobiles. These people are doing fine living in the woods with what they got. 2 hands, a brain, and highly intelligent, and they know how to survive. They know how to eat. They know how to strive without all these necessities that I call the box people need. Look, y'all would agree with this. How many men do you know could just take a knife out into the woods, just a knife, and survive and live in the cold, in the heat? I can honestly tell you, I don't know hardly any man that could live like that. I would try it, but I don't know if I would be successful. I'm sure there's some survivalist kind of people, that know all the gimmicks on how to survive. But you look at the Sasquatch people, they don't have a knife, they don't have a fishing pole. Like I just said, they don't have anything. They're just like the ancient ones. They don't know how to make fires. Or maybe they do. I don't know. I've never seen them do it.
I think they do. But I think I have seen them do it. Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them.
No. Well, how could you?
Look, if their relatives got fleets of spacecraft, they can pretty much do whatever they want. They choose to be this way because they know that's one of the highest paths that there is to just be in harmony with nature and be with what God created, and not have all this artificial enhancements that we seem to rely on.
Yeah.
That kind of brings up a good point. I've always wanted to ask this question, and this audience, you guys seem to be probably the best equipped to answer it. I live out in rural Northwest Washington State, and they're in a ton of forest in the middle of their habitat. However, there is something I've noticed. I don't think, I know that they eat the resources from around here, right? I know they do that for sure. But they're, with the number of them that are actually here, I do not believe that they only rely on food from our dimension, if you will, or our frequency. I think there's something else. I think there's some other way they get sustenance. Because, like I said, there's probably at least 20 to 30 of them that live less than 2 miles from my house, and on a regular basis. And that's habitat they inhabit all year round. The number of deer that are in the area, the population remains fairly constant, but there's not enough deer to support that large of a clan in such, for all the time, right? For an entire year. So they're getting their food from somewhere else. That's what I think.
In my area, I'll just say quickly, and then you don't see much wildlife. I don't think the other animals other than squirrels and chipmunks and little birds and whatever,
right,
like hang around too much where the Sasquatch are. It's doesn't seem to be a lot of other. I'm not saying Sasquatch are wildlife; they're people, but there's not a lot of animals that I found in their area.
right.
Like game animals or whatever. Occasionally.
Anyway, I just came from where you're living at, man, out in Washington. You ever heard of a town called Sasquatch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my Eugene's grandfather has a ranch there, and we were going to move out there and start a Bigfoot bed and breakfast. And the forest fires almost took out the mountaintop we were on. We were on the foothills of the larger mountains. And we came back to Indiana until it got better. I don't know if I'm going back, but I know what you say. We seen 2 of them when we were out in Washington, and I didn't see very many deer out there. And most of the mountaintops are bare. You think of the mountains with all the pine trees and all the deer. It's not like that where up at Sasquatch. A lot of the mountaintops are grazing mountains.
Right.
All the trees are gone, and there ain't that much wildlife. And this is something I have thought of long before that question. And them being energy beings, that can disappear and cloak and whatever. A lot of that. It might be hard to swallow, but a lot of their diet is energy. I think they eat energy like we eat food. They don't eat as much food as they do energy. Humans can't. We can't do hardly nothing they can. We can't mind speak or cloak or go from one dimension to another. I just think, that all that eating it's been blown out of proportion. I've done a lot of research on different animals, their daily intake for them to survive. Take for an example, a dolphin. A dolphin needs 25 pounds of fish per dolphin per day to survive.
Yeah.
An alligator eats 35 pounds of fish per day to survive. Yeah, you get the picture. The bigger you are, the more you got to eat. So if you look at 1,000-pound Sasquatch, he would probably have to eat, 100 pounds a day of food to survive.
Right.
And from a logical standpoint, that's barely impossible. I mean, they're not even that good at hunters. They're not out there with bow and arrows and shotguns and rifles. Yeah, this is what they got. They can use sticks. They can throw rocks.
You cut that.
Maybe they throw rocks at a deer like baseballs. 200-300 miles an hour, hit it in the head. But as far as being a consistent hunter, they just don't have that makeup in them. And the planet that they come from, I'm sure they didn't have all this wildlife to eat. So I don't think, honestly, I don't believe the wildlife, the deer and everything is their main source of a diet.
Right.
Being high energy beings, I think energy has a lot to has to do with feeding them. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I think you're probably right about the source. Yeah.
Just saying, there's not enough deer to go around, and if they was killing every deer out there, you'd be seeing deer carcasses everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because out in my woods alone, I figure there's at least 200 of them in the forest I go to. That's a low count.
They do get fish and stuff. They do kill animals at times. I mean, in my opinion, they could just kill an animal. They could sap it to be completely frozen and just walk up to it and kill it if they wanted. I mean, I don't think that's a problem, but they obviously have another source of food, and I think energy is the answer.
Yeah, I totally agree. So see again, that's the sad thing about they call it the Bigfoot world. So see, like I said, I'm consider myself a researcher. I know a lot. Trust me. But it's for myself and my friends. This is like my hobby.
Right.
So I'm not gonna get all scientific and everything because there's no science. I mean, science don't even believe in it anyway. So I mean, I'm not out to prove that they're real. This is my entertainment. This is what hunters do. This is what fishermen do. This is what sports players do. They go out and play the game to win, to get the reward. And that's what I'm doing. I'm winning. I get rewarded. I go home happy all the time. They know I don't want to prove them. I mean, what's the sense in it? But being a researcher, I'm not a researcher. But all these people, they're flesh and blood. They're this. The bottom line, nobody knows nothing of what they are, who they are. That's the bottom line. You can't prove none of that stuff, so why even try? Just enjoy it for what it is. I mean, I'm sure one day all this will come to light. But today's not the day for that. And if you go around banging your head on the walls trying to get answers that there is no answers to, you're never going to find inner peace. I ain't so much peace within myself for what I know and what I've accomplished so far, but I know there's a lot more to do. So you take one day at a time and you connect the dots and you keep connecting the dots, and the puzzle comes in every minute of it.
Yeah.
But as far as we always hear the old saying, there's no experts. Well, I can tell you one thing, there's no experts, but there's a thing called people that really know a lot more than other people.
No, that's true.
Like everybody wants to put everybody in the same mixing bowl. Like we're all in it together. Which is fine and dandy. Hey, that's good. Everybody believes in the same subject where we all got the same love and passion. But like I said, that's when the similarities stop. I mean, if you think this is some big flesh and blood monkey man type creature out in the woods, the science can't get a DNA or a blood sample or a genetic profile on this creature, but yet science can find a titmouse, ever so big, get a blood sample and a DNA sample on this little titmouse, put them in the DNA library, everything else is something that don't weigh a gram or two, but yet they can't do this to a 1,000-pound creature. I can't buy into this, and I can tell scientists the answer why they can't, because the forest people are not some big hairy 8-man type creature. Scientists know nothing about. These people are coming from another planet, like I stated, and that right there will lose about 75% of the people that are into this. So, I mean, sad but true, man. And then people want to, stereotype people like me. They say it's woo, this, that. Well, I don't call it the flesh and blood. I don't call it the woo. I don't call it the truth. I call it the truth. This is the way I see it. This is how I interpret as the truth. I may not always be right, but I can guarantee you I usually am, though. But until one comes into City Hall, sits down with the mayor, sits down with the president, and tells a story. Some people will never know the truth, and that's what we'll probably take, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I mean, look, 10% of the world, probably believe in Bigfoot. The other, 75, 80% don't. So you tell me that's pretty convincing odds that people do not think Bigfoot's real, more or less all the stuff I'm telling you that comes with them. But from a man who goes out in the woods all the time, who has an open mind, a different point of view, and a man who is willing to accept changes, go out in the woods with your good big heart. Open your eyes, open your ears, and you'll be amazed of what the possibilities are. I mean, this happened to me, it can happen to many others.
Yep, absolutely. Agree word for word. Hey, we're going to have an executive meeting this week and try to get a better format or something.
That sounds good. I like that idea.
So can we get you back when we haven't had so many technical difficulties? I mean, this was a great day too, but I have to go. I have to go meet my girlfriend. We only get to meet once a week.
Man, my wife wants to use the car.
Yeah.
So I'll be glad to come back on. But man, I had a good time talking to you guys.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we could have got.
This is what this group is about. This is what this show is about. It's showing the other side of Sasquatch. They're not killers. They're not monsters. They're not demons. They're good people, and they got a lot more on the ball than we do, because they're not messing up their environment or starting wars or anything.
No,
yeah, that's why I like your show. Most of these shows try to monsterize them. I mean, hey, like I tell everybody, just like sex, horror sells. You put horror in, dude, it's gonna sell. They'll make them a big bloody monster, man. We'll sell. It's all about money. So yeah, you're right, Michael. They're very peaceful, good-hearted people. I mean, they will get mad. You piss them off, they'll get mad. You try to take their pictures and stuff like that, they'll let you know.
Yep.
I ask them about everything. If I want to see eyes shine, somebody in the crowd wants a picture, I say, hey, well, ask them. That's simple. Go, hey, can I please take your picture? Let them know. Don't try to do nothing. From day one, I always said, take what is given, nothing more.
Right.
And I still stick to that today.
Well, there's a downside. I got to say this. There's a downside to calling them monsters, Monster Quest, killing Sasquatch, hunting Sasquatch, all that kind of stuff, right? There's a downside to that. And that is a lot of Sasquatch are being killed today. A lot more than the Sasquatch won't let their friends know, but they have a lot of pressure on them. The fires that were intended on California and Washington, that put a lot of pressure on them. And there's supposedly, this is what the rumor is, that there's 10 different agencies from the U.S. that actually go out and kill Sasquatch. I mean, they kill whole clans. They'll kill a whole mountain full of Sasquatch. This is actually going on. And that's on top of the people who are hunters and, there's the farmers just taking pot shots at them all the time. So that stuff's got to change. This is what I want to just say this at least once every show, that we've got to stop killing Sasquatch because they're some of the best things that are on this planet.
Well, why do you think they want to kill them? They don't want any.
Obviously,
they don't want the best things on this planet. Why do you think we're being censored?
The Sasquatch call the Zetas, the little gray guys, they call them monsters because they're the ones that are out there abducting kids and doing weird things to people. So we got other fish to fry, not Sasquatches. We got the bad ETs and we got bad governments and all that kind of stuff and bad politicians. We got other fish to fry besides trying to go out there and hunt Sasquatch and kill them.
And we got the fight with the devil too. People forget he's got a lot of creatures here on Earth that will flat out hurt you. If people don't want to open up that book, though.
No. Well, okay, guys, I have to run, but really, really amazing conversations. Yeah, I think in closing, just my little 2 cents. I think the Sasquatch, really, what it is if you go in with an open, if the Sasquatch connect with people with big hearts, open hearts, and they connect with people they've connected with for many generations or whatever too, or lifetimes, I think too. But what it's all really about is they want to really introduce us to who we are. That's what the end game is. You find out about them along the way, but they really introduce us to who we really are, and that's where the change and everything comes from. So that's what I think. So on behalf of the Pork and Bean Show,
yeah, thanks a lot, Greg.
I'm Pork Cunningham, my distinguished co-host Frank Oliver Bean.
Guys, I had a good time.
Greg, thanks a lot. We're going to have you on a show that's going to run a little smoother. We're going to have to make some
last time I tried to get you on a show, you had a damn tree fall on your trailer, man. That put the kibosh on everything.
But yeah,
it's blaming on the forest people.
I guess the time wasn't right, but and maybe it's not right yet.
But yeah, man, we're all on the same journey, just a different kind of road to get there, and that's really reassuring.
Yeah.
That's really reassuring.
Guys, have a nice weekend, man.
Yeah, love you all.
Good night. Be
Bye-bye.
good, Pork and Beans.
Take away those chillin' and take away them greens, because mama's little baby loves pork